How are you all doing tonight? My name is Bigbobbedboi and welcome. Let's talk about Gnomeregan. I used to hate Gnomer. It was one of my least favorite dungeons, but I am super pumped with this raid for a lot of reasons actually. BFD was fantastic. It's exactly what I wanted for a level 25 raid. I see no indication things should change for Gnomer, but also I love the shit out of some gnomes now. Yeah, me growing to love gnomes was not the story arc I expected to end 2023 with, but here we are. So let's take everything we currently know that is confirmed about the raid and look at that first, then learn what we can by comparing it to BFD, and we'll talk about what kind of drops that we might see. So what do we know about the raid? Well, it is confirmed that Gnomer will be the level 40 raid. It's on the roadmap and it says winter. Winter officially ends in the US the last day of February, so either January or February. Gnomer wasn't really a level 40 dungeon. Highest level items in there were level 32, so they are pretty open to moving levels around a bit to suit the brackets. Important to keep in mind for level 50. It was teased at BlizzCon, but there was basically nothing there. I rewatched BlizzCon for this video and almost missed it. It was really short.
Be here. Okay, that should definitely, okay, sorry, we should have, okay.
There was one item, data mined, automatic crowd pummeler. This is fucking fantastic. MCP farming as a feral was one of the worst things about Classic. It's good they are fixing it. While they're at it, they should also fix other small annoyances like give me more than 3 stable slots. I think they left this in here on purpose just to alleviate some fears people would have about playing feral in the future, because I don't think this is the final version of this item, for a few reasons. Here's an item from the last boss of normal Gnomer. It's level 32 and item level is 37. ACP says level 35 and item level 40. The fuck? BFD raid was level 25 and all the gear there was level 25, with an item level between 30 and 35, which is in line with normal gear. Here's a BOE blue that's level 25 and it's item level 30. For level 35 gear, item level 40 isn't low. There's a lot of items that eye level, but there's also dungeon gear that's higher. Excalibur is eye level 42. It would be kind of weird to have dungeon gear that's better than the raid gear, and Gnomer is supposed to be level 40, not level 35. So unfortunately, I don't think we can learn a lot from ACP. It's either an early thing they left in, or it's not the same as other raid drops, being something special and easy for ferals to get. I would expect things to be level 40, with an eye level around 45 to 50. That would be in line with BFD and other gear that exists. Speaking of BFD, let's compare BFD with Gnomer and see what we can learn there. First thing, Gnomer is so much bigger than BFD, holy shit. Like, the size difference is just insane. Gnomer has a few different kinds of zones in it. First is the Trog area right from the main entrance, and that leads into the tunnel with the first boss, which, yeah, has to change. It's the one where you do the little RP while waves of Trogs come. No one wants to sit through that as a boss. It's going to have to be very different. From there you can jump down and deal with vicious fallout and the slimes, or go through more Trogs and end up in the clean zone, which actually, that is hostile to Horde. I'm really interested in how they will do this section in the raid. Then you finally end up in the proper gnome section with those annoying as hail alarm bots. Down the road brings you into the hangar. Is this a hangar? It's got lots of copters and it's like they are picked up by a crane, but where is this exit in the world? Dead Mines, the boat exit, is visible in STV. I have no idea where this place is. I actually went and looked for it. Then you've got the engineering labs, which is another huge section where Crowd Pummeler is, and also the back door. Finally, go back in that tunnel and go to the end for the final chamber with Thermoplug. So yeah, it's pretty damn big. If we look at the bosses, BFD dungeon was 7 bosses and the BFD raid is also 7 bosses. All of the bosses are the same except for one. Old Sarah Kissass is dead and he's replaced by Lorgus Jet. Damn, that took way too long to figure out. Lorgus Jet is in the original dungeon, but he's not really a boss. Dungeon version of Gnomer has also 7 bosses, if you count TechBot and the rare spawn Dark Iron Ambassador. Although TechBot is outside fighting dupe bugs, so they'd probably move him inside. Since they made Lorgus Jet a boss, I don't see why they wouldn't do TechBot. I would expect another 7 bosses. I would be very surprised if there are less bosses than BFD, but I actually wouldn't expect a lot more. There are a few reasons I think that. One is again the size. They didn't change the geometry of BFD like at all. I don't think they would for Gnomer either. And it would make sense to fill that space with some bosses, maybe 1 or 2, and not just a bunch of trash. In fact, I would expect them to remove trash if anything. Gnomer has too much trash. If you hadn't done the BFD dungeon in a while, here's how it looks. From the entrance to the first boss here, you can see it's unchanged from the dungeon. But they were able to stick a boss up here on these pillars. And here's the room before Kellers. It's all the same, even most of the trash is the same. Gnomer has a lot more variety. You've got trogs, you've got gnomes, you've got dark iron dwarfs, you've got weird elemental shit, you've got robots, you've got goblins. There's tons they can pull from here for a couple of bosses. Maybe put a boss in the clean zone. A gnome for horde and one of the goblin guys for ally. That could be cool. I think all of the original bosses will make it in except for maybe Grubbus. He's the trog in the tunnel. In fact, I kind of hope they get away from the trog stuff since we're going to be starting Ultiman in this bracket and that place is stuffed to the tits with trogs. Unless Ultiman also gets shifted into a raid and give us either more dark iron stuff or expand on the elemental section. That always felt a bit out of place to me in the original, although I did like it. They could even give us an alarm bot boss. How annoying would that shit be? Outside of that, I don't think there's a lot more we can look into for boss info. So let's talk about the drops. We've already talked about level and eye level. Again, that's probably level 40 gear with eye level 45 to 50. Just like BFD, I think they'll take some of the notable pieces of gear and just give us a new version, including quest items. Trip runner dungarees are going to have to make a triumphant comeback. We've had to wear these ugly AF leggings of the Fang for so long now, I am fed up. Here's what I consider to be the most iconic pieces of Gnomer gear, not counting Pummeler. That would be Toxic Revenger, Hydro Cane, Electrocutioner, Leg, not Executioner. I've called it that a bunch of times. Thermoplugs, left arm, and Electromagnetic Giga Flux Reactivator. And that's only 5 pieces of gear, not a lot. But if you look at the original Dungeon BFD gear, it's got even less than that. But nearly every piece of gear that dropped from bosses in that dungeon was scaled up into a new piece, like Reef Axe from Gelahast and the Talwar from Surevis. It's very likely we'll see almost the same thing for Gnomer. But what about some epic pieces? We are definitely going to see some epic pieces in Gnomer. But really there's not as many cool pieces to pull from as there was in BFD. Most Gnomer loot in the original, honestly, it's a little bit weak. Any one of those 5 pieces of loot could be made into an epic version. My guess is the helm will be. It's a really cool and really unique piece from the original. It kinda should be an epic. And that may be the play in general. Just epic armor this time, not weapons. Especially since a lot of classes move into new armor class, like hunters into mail, warriors into plate. They might want to load up the dungeon with armor for that. But I kinda think there will be some epic weapons, although likely rotated out from what there were last time. We had a spell damage staff, crossbow, and a 2-handed sword. They could repeat them and make the axe an epic, but I don't think they'd do that. What I would expect is an epic one-handed weapon. Probably not a dagger, because there already is one, basically, Gut Ripper. Gut Ripper is a level 40 epic world drop, yes, but it is phenomenal. I did a leveling PvP series in Classic on Rogue. I bought that shit right at level 40, went around and one-shot everyone with ambush. It was fucking glorious. So probably a one-handed sword or mace. The only thing that really fits that is the Electrocutioner leg, but a level 40 slower version of that for an epic, honestly, I would be pretty happy with that. I could also possibly see an epic shield. Thermoplug did drop a cool shield in original. TechBot also drops a shield. There is an epic world drop shield, Green Tower, but it's level 36, so that might not be an issue. Or it's possible we see a healer weapon. There isn't really any specific healing weapons there, except for sort of Royal Diplomatic Scepter from the rare spawn. They could scale that up into an epic. And the last thing that I am 99% sure will drop and should be an epic. If it doesn't exist, Blizzard has lost their goddamn mind. And that is mounts. Fucking mounts, buddy. We're going to be level 40. There has to be mount drops. At least one. The mobs in the dungeon are on a red Meccano, which is purchasable. It's not a unique mount, or it's super close. There are a few unused Meccano colors. Fluorescent green, red and blue, also purple. There's also the original epic ones, white mod A and icy blue mod A. That white one looks like dope shit. I could see pretty much any one of those being available in the raid. Kind of like how they gave us the old cat as the Ashenvale mount. But if Blizz wanted to actually be cool, like for real, be cool Blizz, just do it, please. Give us a Mechano Spider. Just fucking do it, Blizz. There's already cool animations for gnomes on Mechano Spiders. It could definitely be made to work for other races, even if they don't get the cool animation where they close the hatch. This is definitely something that could be ridden by players. Just scale it up, I don't care. Or you could do like FF14 where different races ride the mount differently. If a race is too big to fit inside of it, they just sit on top. Easy. Please, Blizzard. You've done good things in SOD, you've made mistakes in SOD. If you do not make Mechano Spider a new mount, that will be the biggest mistake in all of 2024. But most importantly, I want to hear what you have to say. Yeah, for real, I haven't been as active in my comments for the last couple videos. I've been so busy. I'm going to be really active on these ones, and I want you to tell me. Let me know what you think will be in the raid and something you hope will be in the raid. I know for me, I'm hoping it's that white and black Mechano Strider. That thing is dope shit. Damn, that was a good video. I hope you liked it because I'm going hard over here. We are so close to 20k subs, so if you enjoyed it, hit that like button, subscribe button, I want a Mechano Spider mount button, all that other shit. I appreciate each and every one I get. I have been informed my engagement rate is pretty low, and that actually does hurt the channel. I genuinely do appreciate each and every one I get. Things were a little slow because of the holidays, but I'm going super hard on the channel. Trying for 2 videos and 1 stream a week for all of January. So let's get that 20k. And we even have a membership option. Click that join button and check it out if you want to support the channel. YouTube has recently changed the way membership works, and now all my members get to watch all videos early. But that is going to be all for this one. I really appreciate you all watching, and I will see you all for the next one.